for today's cup of coffee?
Cup of coffee.
I'm exhausted. It's Monday. It will be Monday when this is uploaded.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I had it all planned for just weekend of rest, relaxation.
I can't get comfortable.
All this stuff. And then sometimes that is not where God wants me. It's really not.
No.
And so I have gone through this. I blame Kid. I think that it's him playing Alice Madness Returns.
Which one?
Because I have been down so many rabbit holes.
So that's why you're blaming me?
It's just...
Because I'm playing Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I think it's
Put
just...
the pillow behind me, sorry.
Absolutely been insane.
Yes.
And the amount of stuff that I have learned, whether I wanted to know it or not, but apparently I needed to know it, has left me exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just learned more about, like, frequencies and such.
Yeah. I mean, it has just been incredible. It's been an incredible journey, but it has been very tiring.
Mm-hmm.
And it started... And I don't even know which video led to something else. And this had nothing to do with YouTube's random, like they used to, that they would give you related content or something like that. They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't.
It used to be a happy place in there, especially musically.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, but no, that's not how they operate anymore. And I think that the first one started the night before, and there was a channel, I've got all kinds of links for you and stuff, that it's called What Lurks Beneath.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about some of the stuff that we do, only more thorough.
Yeah.
Ours is a matter of,
headlines and such.
We do a podling cast. We have come to that discussion. It's not just a podcast, it's a podling cast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, simplify things.
Seriously, for real.
But what lurks beneath, they had a gentleman on there called Nathaniel Gillis, and he says that he's a demonologist. And this is a lengthy video. It's like an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
And some of the things most interesting, but one of the things, and I would have to go back at some point if I've got the time and re-watch these things. Some of them, I didn't know I was supposed to take notes, but I should have. But one of the most interesting things that Gillis was talking about is, he's talking about how demons work, and a lot of it was stuff that we had known and surmised for many years, which is that these are parasitic entities. They feed off fear.
Yeah.
They're very opportunistic. They hate humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things I didn't agree with as far as it being just a single organism, I guess if you wanted to think of it as like, all right, you know how those different fungi come from a single source and they grow underground, and then you just have a mushroom pop up here and there and everywhere. If that's the type of thing that he is proposing, maybe I could see that. And that you had one central source of energy on what we call demonic activity.
Yeah.
He also related that to a lot of the UFO abduction stories. And we've known this historically, as far as even with the incubi and the succubi and different things like that. And he goes in some areas that I'm thinking, damn, dude, that's nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, he really did on some of that stuff. Kid poked his head in the room, and he's like, what the hell are you watching? And I'm like, don't come in here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because as far as a little bit of necrophilia there on the demon side, and that was interesting.
Ew. Now, as far as like the source, you thinking like it's mushrooms, I was thinking more like Vecna from Stranger Things, where it was centralized in that one house, but it was the whole fucking town was affected.
Yeah, I think it's what he's proposing. I think that's sort of what he is proposing on this.
Yeah.
And what I thought, and I had never thought about this before, like where I think he was talking about the UFO crop circles and stuff and the soil samples to see if there were anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
And there were. But to go into a residence that had had some kind of high strangeness, paranormal, whatever, and to take soil samples there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I had never thought of that before. And that it was basically the same as from the UFO sites. That was weird. Yeah.
Huh. That is weird.
Uh-huh.
So
that was most intriguing. And he goes about doing lectures and stuff now, if you're ever interested in that. So
if you're a ghost hunter, you need to take samples of the soil now?
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
But then again,
it's like,
I thought I could have sworn I've seen something like that years ago with some sort of ghost hunters.
I hadn't thought about it. And comparing it to UFO landing sites.
Yeah. But I don't know if they did that back in the day. Like,
I would say that it would have to be a very special laboratory. I mean, I'm sure that it's available someplace what they tested for. I know that in the crop circles, the wheat was not broken. That was the difference between the legitimate ones and the ones where you had these idiots out here with the boards and all this stuff. There's some of the things that just could not have been man-made.
Right.
And that the plants, they weren't bent, they weren't crushed, they sort of had laid over, but they were still alive, they were still viable, and some of them had these odd growths that would occur. And I know that Travis Walton was talking about the same thing occurred to some of the trees in the area where he had his encounter.
What do you mean by growths, though? Like nodules and
sort of.
Tentacles?
It wasn't a tumor or anything like that. It was just odd cellular mutation in a certain area.
Ooh. Okay. That's weird.
It's sort of like a bulge is how it, looked.
Okay.
So that was highly interesting. You can't fake that.
No.
No matter how much they want to spin that away, something is going on.
Yeah.
And speaking of things going on, I had found a video from Fringe Pop 321, and this was one of Dr. Michael Heiser's websites, and that they are still, uploading there on the website, even though he's passed, and it's like just little snippets of information, and I don't care any little snippet that they want to provide. I miss his presence on the planet, especially, in today's world. I feel there's a lot of things that maybe he could have explained.
Yeah.
But God knows what he's doing.
Well.
And
he's watching. He's doing something up there.
So the little snippet that I had caught was about Operation Paperclip. What is it really about? And Heiser was a very no-nonsense person. He could explain to you what was going on just in very few words, which is something that's very needed today.
Yeah.
And just absolutely blow your mind. And there's a lot of things that people will be going, you mean you didn't know that? No, I can't be responsible for knowing everything. Never assume that I know something.
Yeah.
Even though it should be obvious. But we know as far as Operation Paperclip, he explained that Harry Truman, thereafter World War II, when some of the people in the Defense Department and stuff were wanting to bring Nazi scientists here to America, that President Truman did not want anybody that was brought here that had done horrific things, such as human experimentation and some of these atrocities.
Yeah.
But they found a way to bypass presidential orders And so what they would do, some of these scientists, and they were Nazis. I thought that not all of them were, but no, they were. And that they, on the documents about these scientists, that they would put a paperclip, and that was a signal for the next whoever paper pusher to know that this individual, to sort of rewrite their story, so that they could come here. Right. They were skirting the law is exactly what they were doing. But that they also did this with scientists that had come from Japan. That was what I didn't know. And he was talking about that a lot of during World War II, a lot of the Japanese scientists were working with biological warfare. That was horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
And
it's like, what were they planning?
Something bad.
I know that, but it's like, what? Zombies?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Another version of the bubonic plague.
And then this morning, it was a matter of watching one by Tucker Carlson. He has had truth bombs left and right. And he had spoken with someone named Mike Benz, B-E-N-Z. And he explained, as far as the government's, and the title of his video is Everything You Need to Know About the Government's Mass Censorship Campaign. And Mr. Benz explained when it began, why it began, how it began, what is going on. And now you talk about Vecna and tentacles. Oh, it was dizzying.
Really?
I sat here, mouth agape, during the whole time. And it's just like, oh, God help us, please. It was absolutely incredible. And this is one of the things that we trust what the enemy intends for evil, that God intends for good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the lies are thick out there. But this dude actually even explains about, which I had known that President Obama during his time had made it legal to use propaganda against the citizens of the United States. He made that law. And so that's one of the reasons that you have so few people owning most of the media.
Mm-hmm.
It's so they can control the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things about internet and stuff. They're trying to control that narrative too.
Mm-hmm.
And even as far as Google and DARPA and all that stuff. Yeah.
It's dizzying.
It is. It truly is. And then
just put your brain right in a blender.
Mm-hmm. And then the one that Kid and I had watched right before we started recording, and it's by a channel called Be Inspired, and they always have some really cool stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And this is another one of those channels that you sort of have to. This is one of the. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again in the near future, because I missed something somewhere, and my brain is full right now, so that was easy to do. But they were talking about the 808 drum machines, which is used in a lot of rap music.
Yeah.
And how it produces an altered state of consciousness. And then the words you have got as far as power of suggestion. Mm-hmm. So is this, weaponization? Yeah.
Very much.
And Be Inspired is not a small channel. I think it has like 8 million subscribers or something.
Wow.
So that's a whole lot of people to share a whole lot of message.
Yeah.
But they were discussing as far as the, I think it's solfeggio frequencies.
Yeah, solfeggio.
And those are wonderful. I've been experimenting with those on and off for many years. And they were discussing as far as 528 is a hertz that can bring healing. Actually, on the solfeggio frequencies, different ones are designed for different chakras and different healings.
Yeah.
And they said that when they had discovered 152 Gregorian chants, that started a search for lost frequencies.
Ooh.
because within the Gregorian chants, there were frequencies that could heal, sort of like as far as the chants within the Buddhist monks and stuff like that. And everything is frequency and vibration.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Words matter. They have remarkable power.
Mm-hmm.
So does music.
Yep.
And so does truth. And so I'm going to start my week a little bit on the fatigued side. Kid, have you got final thoughts on any of this stuff?
Nah, but I do find this very fascinating. I really do.
Yeah.
I actually sleep to like those frequencies quite a bit.
I have before.
Not that 808 shit, but like the 528 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do that quite frequent because it's very pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find some of them. I know that there's quite a few places there on the U of Tube, and I'm sure other platforms that you can find some of the music. Some of it's better than others.
Yeah.
And if you get you like some of those little sleep headbands, that's very nice.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
And you can just allow yourself to become immersed in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, yeah. And I think all of us need to have that little bit of a refuge. But they were talking about the 528 is that frequency that is closer to the Creator. We all need that. We need to have that be blasting out right now.
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
So it was fascinating. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to share my rabbit holes with everybody today. That's what I got. That and coffee.
Down the
I
rabbit
need
holes.
more coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need something after fighting in Alice today.
I found out that watching him there for a while, because I was so immersed in that.
I get so tired.
And as far, I actually had a little bit of sort of motion sickness after a period of time.
Well, that is my fault because I was more rapid with my camera movements.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I'm like, this is why, as far as putting a VR thing on my head, no.
Well, that would be different
because
because
a bad idea.
Well, that would be different because you're seeing it like you seeing through your actual eyeballs, but.
But I found that was interesting. Why would that have that degree of an effect on me? And I'm sitting, 10, 12 foot away from the screen.
Right.
I mean, it's a bigger screen.
But
it's not ginormous.
But then again, it's not like uncommon because people do that with Portal as well.
Yeah, that one. And that's just like as far as when you haven't done it on this one, but you have had other games that you moved the character so quickly that it's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I just whip it. I whip the camera around. I don't know why.
Well, it doesn't bother you. The stuff didn't used to bother me, and I'm thinking I think that's very odd. I need to ask the optometrist about that.
Maybe it is like a vision thing.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be. It has to be. So is that your final thoughts?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Are we going to play some more Alice later?
Maybe. That
Okay.
sounds like I could end up the day like that because you were getting close to the boss battle anyhow, weren't you?
Queen of Hearts realm.
Yeah.
And after we... Hold up. I don't know why. It's like my fucking, like, voice box just gets crushed when I'm sitting in that position.
Well, if you're sitting there like a snail, yeah.
That's comfortable.
But not for
It's not
oration.
conducive to talking.
Right.
But after we get done playing, like, American McGee's Alice, or Menace Returns, we can play the OG American McGee's Alice.
That or that other one, High on Life. I liked High on Life.
I liked High on
really
Life too, but
good
that was a very...
game.
That's a long game.
It is a long game. That or we may just sit and watch music videos random. Had reintroduced Kid to Herbie Hancock.
I'm pretty sure dude said, like, the more you get up and start grooving and whatever, that's you're further away out from the, like, creator frequency. And I'm like, damn, that sucks.
No, that's not.
So what about No Doubt? What about, like, Rob Zombie? Well, Rob Zombie's low frequency, but
right.
What
that's
about?
what he was talking about that.
What was that? Hey, baby girl, what you doing tonight? I
don't know. It's the
It's like
frequency
2000s. I love that song.
That's what I've always told you. It's the words. They make the beat catchy as the vehicle for the message, and the message a lot of times is not good.
Yeah.
It's usually something that's going to hurt you or somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So, if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, yeah, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address plus all these links will be there for you.
Yeah. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, most of all, subscribe. The voice not working. Subscribe. There you go. Click that notification button. Likes the affection. Thank you all. Have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And we share I did the work for you. All you got to do is just sit back and listen to the stuff and process.
Yep.
So, Lord willing, we'll see you on the next go.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye.